So we're back on the trail, finished breakfast, got some hot coffee in me. You know, I broke down camp this morning and hit the trail and I almost forgot my tree straps. I took the hammock down and left the tree straps on the tree and then forgot about them. And luckily they are white in color. And I saw them when I was doing my final scan at the campsite before leaving, which you should always do for that reason. And luckily I saw them and I got them. That would have really sucked if I pulled into camp tonight ready to make camp and discovered I had no hammock suspension. That would have sucked. And so here we are at the junction of Boulder Creek Lakes Trail and Canyon Creek Lakes Trail, and we're gonna take off on a detour onto the Boulder Creek Lakes Trail. But yeah, it's nice out here. Looks like we're back in snow again. If it continues to be, you know, consistent snowpack, I will probably throw the micro spikes on again, mostly just for fun because I like wearing them. But at some point I'll probably encounter some ice and probably need to put them on. So I was following a set of tracks on this trail. Yesterday I saw a day hiker with a couple dogs, and looks like they were his tracks. You can see the dog prints as well, but then they disappeared and looks like he turned back because now it's just all unbroken snow. So I'm not seeing any tracks of any kind in the snow, so it may have been a little while since anyone else hiked this trail, which is kind of cool. Makes me feel like I'm exploring some unknown territory. Oh boy. So I'm almost to the Boulder Creek Lakes, and man, the trail up here was much more difficult than I expected. I didn't really look at the grade on the topo map. I was just like, oh, okay, it's a 2-mile hike, no big deal. But man, that was a pretty tough trail. It's pretty overgrown, mostly single track, not very well maintained. There's a lot of you know, tree branches and bushes, you know, poking into the trail that you kind of have to push through. And then the first half mile or so was, you know, a gentle upward grade with some sections of flat trail. And then it just started a pretty brutal, steep uphill climb for like the next, pretty much the entire rest of the trail. A good 1.5 miles of just unbroken climbing. And there's a lot of snow cover too, so I wasn't always exactly sure where the trail was. Had to do some route finding and just kind of crunching through the snow, doing some bushwhacking a bit here and there. But we're just about to the lake now. I think I'm pretty much done with the majority of the climbing. So glad I got the climb over with though. The sun is out, it is hot. I am worked up a pretty good sweat and just gonna do the final 1/4 mile or less over to the lake. Well, so here we are at the Boulder Creek Lake, completely frozen. The whole lake is frozen. Pretty epic mountains behind it. Gives it a cool look. It's kind of in this little kind of canyon down here. So the full lake is frozen, and then over here there's a smaller lake right next to it that is also frozen, with some pretty cool mountains behind it. So all in all, I'm not sure if this hike was entirely worth it to come out to this lake, but I'm glad I did it. It was pretty challenging, and it's going to be possibly even more challenging on the way back, but we'll get it done. For now, I am going to take a break and eat a combination late breakfast / lunch, aka brunch, and just rest for a bit. It is nice up here. Very remote. There's definitely been no one out here recently. Protein bar. Mint chocolate chip. All right, check this out. You see my hat here? Okay, take a good look. See that? Now watch this. Oh. Look at that. Boom. It's magic. Okay, yeah, so this is what a lot of this trail is. It's just kind of squeezing through overgrown brush and going down a steep, rocky and snowy trail that isn't much of a trail, barely maintained. And this is the majority of the Boulder Creek Lakes trail. But it's actually, so far, it has not been as bad coming back down as I was thinking it might be. I'm actually making a pretty good pace. So it's always nice to get these little clearings for a minute. And yeah, there are some pretty nice views on this trail, especially coming back. This was all behind me on the way up. But this is kind of like the one scenery that you see the entire time on this trail. It's like the same mountain range. But I am not complaining because this is beautiful. And the weather is perfect. It's actually pretty warm today. It's last time I checked, it was 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So no wonder I was working up a sweat on the way up. But there's a breeze and the snow is keeping my feet cool. So not too bad at all. What's that? I heard you in there. Who are you? So I'm finally back on the main trail, back on the Canyon Creek Trail. Man, that Boulder Creek Trail was intense. I thought that was gonna be a easy little walk over to a lake. Ended up being like a full-on expedition. And heading south back towards the trailhead to camp about halfway between the junction of the Boulder Creek Trail and the trailhead. So I got about 2.5 miles to go to the campsite, and then there'll be another 2.5 from there back to the trailhead tomorrow. All right, so we're just off the trail a little bit and found this real flat section of kind of grove of trees. And then right here, got a perfect little spot here with a fire pit. There's a couple other fire pits like right around this area. They're not too close to this one, but they're within, viewing distance. So I'm hoping nobody else comes here tonight, just because I kind of do like to have my privacy. But if they do, it won't be a big deal. This was pretty much the only spot of the several spots in this area that I found that was safe from widowmakers. There's a lot of trees around here, which is both good because it gives you plenty of options to hang a hammock, but it's also bad because there's plenty of options for there to be dead trees that could potentially fall on you. But this one, I think we're clear. I'm gonna hang from this tree right there over to that one right there. All right, so we're all set up here, doing a traditional porch mode hang. This is kind of like a semi-private porch mode where I've got this side, which is my head end, pulled down a little lower, and got the door pulled down here just because the trail does kind of run somewhere around over there. The side trail, the main trail is like up there somewhere, but the side trail down in this area comes like down like this. So this will just kind of give me a little privacy with those doors pulled down, just enough to where you can't really see in there too easily. And yeah, got the Canyon Creek running right along there, so real easy water source and beautiful area with all these trees. So it's my home for the final night in the Trinity Alps, and as always, just got my basic setup, cozy and comfy. So while the thought of having a campfire is always appealing, sometimes in reality it gets to the point where you start wondering if it might be a little more effort than it's worth. And I'm starting to lean that way. Took a look around this area and I'm not seeing very much dry or dead wood on the ground. I mean, there's little twigs like this, like here and there, but I think this spot's a pretty popular place for camping, and it looks like it's been picked pretty clean. That and the fact that everything in this area is still pretty damp and wet. So if I were to try and get this baby going, I'd have to, you know, dig out all these wet leaves, then go gather a bunch of wood, and you know, get it started with wet wood and kindling, which, you know, I could do, but it'd be a little more effort than, you know, just your regular fire where you have plenty of dry, dead wood around. So the sun is already set behind the canyon wall up there. Starting to feel a little colder, and I'm starting to think that, you know, lighting a fire might just be something that I would feel obligated to do, but I'm kind of not really feeling it. So I think I'm going to skip the campfire tonight and just cook up some hot food. And then once it finally starts getting dark all the way, just crawl into the hammock and enjoy the evening from under the tarp, listening to the sound of the Canyon Creek. And I think that'll be just fine for tonight. So just got everything finished up at camp, got all my chores done, got the bear bag hung up, filtered my water, got everything set with the tarp system behind me, and just boiling some water now. Gonna do another packet gourmet meal tonight, and tonight we have the Big Easy Cajun Jumbo. Excuse me, gumbo. Big Easy Cajun Gumbo. I don't know how this is gonna be, but it should be a little bit spicy, I think. And it also came with stock, again, happy Thanksgiving, day after, and a little packet of hot sauce. So looking forward to checking this out. And then same as last night, I also have a packet of hot cocoa. Oh yeah. So just finished off the chicken gumbo. It was pretty tasty, I would say. It was a little soupy. I don't know if I added a little too much water. I thought I tried to follow the directions correctly, but it was kind of soupy. I ended up like kind of drinking the second half of it, but it was still super tasty. This particular campsite, while it's very beautiful with all the you know, surrounding trees and the creek running right by it. It is pretty deep down in the canyon, so it's been kind of dark and a little gloomy ever since the sunset behind the canyon wall, which was well over an hour ago, and everything's all damp. And so while it's a nice campsite, I'm kind of feeling a little I don't know, gloomy. A little gloomy, just a little bit, not too much. But I'm probably gonna finish up my my final camp chores of, you know, cleaning the pot and stuff like that, and then jump into the hammock and kick on some movies and just enjoy some snuggling time in my little tarp house. So I don't know how much more recording I'm gonna do tonight. I may just end up retiring for the evening. So if that's the case, tomorrow I am gonna do the final 2.5 miles back to the trailhead. I'm gonna get up as early as I can, and I might get up well before sunrise. So I could possibly not be able to do much footage on the final 1 hour of hiking back to the car tomorrow morning. So if that's the case, if I don't record any more footage of this trip, just want to say thank you for checking out my video and coming along on my 4-day adventure of the Trinity Alps wilderness. It's been really cool. I was just blown away by all the just epic mountain scenery and the snow and the beautiful alpine lakes at Canyon Creek Lakes, upper and lower, were just outstanding. Boulder Creek Lake, you know, it might have been nicer if it wasn't frozen. It seemed like it was a very beautiful lake, also very remote and a bit hard to get to. But yeah, this whole area has been just super awesome. And it's one of those trips where the days are just flying by. That may be partly because there's only about 8 or so hours of daylight every day. But not just that, it's also just been a really fun and exciting trip. So with that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.